Yes, it is. Welcome to another episode of the Ballinesian podcast here on the Polytickin Network. AANHPI month. We're in here finally. It's like a week. It's like a weekend, and this is our first episode. Hey, Island time. Thank you for tuning in every week, though. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. If
That
you
why you
don't
have an
already
island
know,
shirt on?
huh?
So is that why you have an island shirt on?
Yeah, bro. Well, no, I wear this all the time. Actually,
You have a skirt
this is
on?
a lifestyle. No, I do not have a pleated skirt on. We are going to talk about AANHPI month. Kind of going some of our observations. We're also going to talk about the backlash of The Rock at the Met Gala and Samoan people and their entitled expectations. We're going
Amen.
to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Whoa.
Entitlement.
Oh, okay. And then if we have time on the way out, we're going to talk about sports that you love. Too much of a good thing and golfer's elbow. I don't even know if it hurts is what I'm saying. But yeah, we're in here. Make sure you are also listening to the Polytickin podcast. Oh, hello, Marcus, Cepha M. Weekly episodes, current events, talking about everything that they're going through, collecting, rap albums, mental health, everyday life. And also the patreon.com/the Polytickin podcast. Just $5 a month, and you get an extra episode every week that is exclusive to the Patreon and the patrons. Shout out to Titty. Shout out to everybody there in the chat on the Patreon. You can also join the community chat and talk about anything that's going on or stuff that you want to talk about us to address on the Patreon. But yeah, we are here. It is AANHPI month in the month of May here in the United States of America.
It's a lot.
It's more letters, more letters. But I feel like something's happened. I feel like something's happened this year that's kind of different. I think people are dropping the NH. Like I know it's been AAPI month for, whatever however long, four letters, you get the da month, there's
Right,
like a
right.
little cadence and then adding native Hawaiian uh initials. I feel like it happened like 2 years ago, but now everyone's just like, ah, we don't need to include them in the full month now. What are Hawaiians? And you, I feel like you are perfectly situated to talk about this. Being AA, being PI, also living in NH. Like, I mean, this is your month. They should make it Coach Forrest month.
I feel
Uh,
like that's a really racial comment you're making there,
what
but
do you
honestly,
mean? This everyone's like, oh, that was about a race. But uh, do you notice that the NH is being dropped? And why do
I
you think that
don't
is?
I don't want, and not to be disrespectful, but I can see why it's a lot to say. It's a like,
Sure, yeah.
you know, I
Islander name.
right. Yeah,
It's
right.
a lot.
Of course. Um, but I get it. If there are people who, one, you know, the American government kind of just lumped a whole bunch of people, gave them a month, and was like, hey, they don't have a month. Let's just put all these people, which is funny, kind of like a coincidence because not really a coincidence, but
Right,
um,
right.
these are all the people that they travel to their ocean and decided to separate them by calling them Polynesian, Melanesian,
Mm.
Micronesian, Asians. And then when we're all supposed to be recognized, they put us all back together and lump them in 1 month. Um, yeah, weird, guys. But I get it.
They also chose the largest landmass continent, and well, is Asia the
Yeah, it
largest?
is.
Okay,
It is.
Asia. They chose Asia and the largest ocean, and they were like, "Hey, just put all those
Hey,
people together."
just I was like, okay. But yeah,
Or it was Asian American week, and then Asian American month, and then oh hey, also
right.
include those that big ocean of people.
Yeah.
We know that it's kind of the representation, especially whether you're looking at special playlists or people putting together these sorts of lists of AA NHPI recognition. in sports and art, whatever, you'll notice that it's a lot more of the AA, right? The PI is
Right. You
it's
go on
not as
Netflix
enunciated.
and
Sometimes
you
people say
watch
it's silent.
right the AI or the AI, sorry, the
Yeah,
Netflix
yeah, yeah.
the Netflix um
Oh yeah.
playlist for that.
Mhm.
There's a lot of martial arts movies.
Yeah, it's like it's Asian American, and like I wanted to talk about kind of the expectation of that, right? Because we are like, why are we in the same month? We have the same
Mm,
amount of letters as the Asian Americans, as the Native Hawaiians, the Pacific Islanders.
yeah.
Why is the representation so far off? And the first thing that I can think about, and I feel like people immediately bring this up, is that the population, right? And then the population is different. You talk about how big Asia is and how many people are there versus how, a lot smaller land masses in the Pacific Ocean. But as far as like American population, according to a quick Google search, it's about 25 million Asian Americans in the United States of America,
Wow.
compared to like 1.5, maybe 2 million for total Pacific Islander Americans. That's mostly Native Hawaiians, like 680,000. And then you got Tongan, Samoans, kind of cascading down, adding up to the Pacific Islanders. But so their group is like 20 times the size of our group, so I can understand why there might be, more chances for that. It's, to me, it always goes back to Tafuna High School in 2005 becoming one of the first schools with over 1,000 students in American Samoa. And then you started to notice that Tafuna High School's sports programs, their sports teams used to be just a little bit better. Like the players, I'm not saying that the other
Football.
players were worse.
I'll give you guys football. Take you.
Okay, well, I think just having, and this also relates to like high school sports, divisions, right? You 1A, 2A,
Sure.
6A,
Yeah,
stuff like
that's why
that.
they have those divisions, right?
And then I think that is because of the population of like
It's,
the student pool, right? The
yeah,
athlete pool, right? Okay, so if you're in LA County and you have a lot of people to choose from, you're in a bigger kind of like division, right?
yeah, yep.
Because you're the best people that will make your basketball team or your football team are going to be better than the best people that make up, like maybe like a couple private schools huddled together. They call themselves the Saints or something. You're going to have better players than that small thing, right? So I'm thinking you're going to have a lot more chances for Asian American, excellence or culture to pop out because you have it so much more visible. There's so many more people. Uh, so I think that kind of speaks to like the inequality of representation, but it's like 99 to 1%.
Right.
It's supposed to feel like 5, maybe 10% to 90%, 95%, whatever. But it feels like it's just like there's almost nothing Pacific Islander unless it's done specifically by a Pacific Islander. Like writers for these like different sites, whether it's like Vogue or Yahoo, news or fashion or stuff like that. They're the ones that are making sure that our people are seen and actually brought up in these conversations instead of it just being uh, mostly, if not all, Asian culture and stuff like that. Do you think there's any other reason why there's such a big difference in the amount of representation?
No, that I mean, I think you hit it right on the nail on the head. But for me, even though all of that is most likely true, my thing is since we're such a smaller population, we should be more, I guess, um, what can you
Helped?
figure the words out? The emphasis on showcasing our culture should be a little bit more because we're such a smaller, like a smaller
Mm-hmm.
demographic than the Asians.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a lot of um, American Asian, I guess, culture all around during that month. That's perfect because there is more of them to be seen. So
Yeah.
as the smaller portion of that the month, I think the emphasis a lot should be just more placed on trying to get trying to push out a lot of the culture from the Pacific Islands. Nothing against the Asian Americans, just that
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna see a lot of that culture because again, just sheer numbers.
Numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
sheer numbers. So why not put a little bit more emphasis on the cultures who aren't being showcased
I
more?
like that. I
So
you know what league doesn't have like a that PIs are actually more than Asians in their representations when they do their like posts?
the extraordinary gentleman.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I don't think has any Polynesians in it or Pacific Islanders.
Suggest
Dorian Gray, I remember he like disappeared.
well, wait,
Uh,
not doing great.
Not Dorian Gray.
No,
Okay, but what was I
actually,
saying?
maybe him.
Oh, the NFL.
Yes,
The NFL, when the NFL does their NHPI like highlights, they're like, look at these legendary Pacific Islanders and Asian Americans that have played in the National Football League. And then it's just a bunch of brown linemen and two kickers. So uh yeah, no, it's there's
yeah,
definitely well, but so I feel like what that means is that's asking for like equality, right? Like there's
sure.
so much more. But yeah, I just finding the excellence that hasn't had the opportunity to be put out. Yeah, figuring out a way to do that would be, I definitely think, help even out the imbalance that it feels like as far as representation during AA and HBI month. As well.
Yeah,
Um, so, in knowing that there is this big discrepancy, this big divide in representation, definitely fixing that imbalance would be a big part in making like the ideal, month of representation for all of us. But what are some things that you think you would love to see if they finally got a NHPI month right, and fix the imbalance and up to like kind of the representation or the showing people the stuff? What's something that you would absolutely have to have shown out there, and how do you think that ideal month would work?
just the showcasing of how the culture from the islands is adopted and integrated into life here in the United States because there are a lot of islanders that migrated from Tonga, Samoa, Hawaii, going as far as like Guam, and then you have the Fiji. So I'm gonna put all of us under that Pacific Ocean. So Fiji, all the way to Papua, just all the islands around there. Rarotonga, just how their migration to the United States and how they're able to keep their culture alive while living out here, and how it made that sometimes it doesn't always look like it's thriving in certain communities in all over the United States, but there are communities where it's still pretty strong. For a lot of the Samoan cultures, is if you go to a lot of the churches, of course, I know church, but um, White Sunday, the traditions of
Mm,
how they do White Sunday, any of the festivals that they have, of course, we're always going to be showcased dancing, singing. It's what we do as a people. But yeah, just how we're able to still carry those things. The language, of course. I know there's for some, there's been a talk about how the disconnection between speaking your native language and living out
mhm.
here. But I still meet a lot of people who grew up out here, not growing up in the islands, still speak pretty good Samoan or Tongan or wherever they're from in Hawaii, sorry, the Pacific Islands, and then also for Hawaii, just the way that the language has come back up. We'd love to see that. Speak more about that
Yeah.
because you see more and more people learning Olelo, so that's pretty cool. I think those are the things that should be showcased really if it was done right.
Yo, definitely. If you could even do like a specific day per culture or something, and like, okay, today's Samoan day, today's Tongan day, today's Hawaiian day, today's Fijian day, today's Maori day. You just keep
Yeah.
going down the line with all, and that's just Pacific Islander, right? You got the Asians, the Asian American cultures, you got Native Hawaiians. Man, I feel like it's. Are we just folding the NH back into the PI after we let it out into the middle of the? I don't know. How did that happen?
I think there are some people who are doing, and it's probably for the worst reason ever because people just don't want to have to say the long name to it, the letters, all the letters, and they just become lazy, as a lot of people do in this country. They just
Say the names. Say the names. Say the full names.
yeah,
Uh,
they just again, names are important, people. Representation is important. And it- look, Hawaiians want to be recognized, and I get that. They a lot of things were taken from them forcefully,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah. So shout out to them, man. Keep keep keep
King,
pushing for the things that you want because your representation, because it matters. And if you guys are lazy and just don't want to say NH, please do. Please do.
hey, for us, please. Just remember there's some NHs out there that are definitely being like erased. Oh, that's what I was just gonna say. Can you imagine if American Samoa was like a tourist destination? Like, sure, people would be making money, but like, can you imagine if you couldn't go home and like be home, like couldn't afford home, your parents got bought out of their house or something, like
Exactly.
you didn't have Coconut Point anymore, like that became like a freaking hotel or something.
Weird.
That'd be weird. And like there's also islands that are literally drowning now because of climate change, the sea's going up, and I think it's Vanuatu, like the shores are starting to eat away at their roads, like
You can buy
it's getting bad.
virtual land now for
Yeah.
Pacific Island. We won't say anything, but you can buy virtual land now, and their their I guess forward thinking of kind of just keeping their culture alive
Great.
and their land.
Yeah.
Not great because they're doing that so that no one forgets because their island is literally uh being swallowed up by the ocean. And
Yeah.
they don't have enough help to do anything. So once Meta kind of just came out, their first thing to do was they went and bought land in Meta for their country, so that way they'd still be around.
Hmm. That sounds I don't know
Sad.
why we have to, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like capitalistic sadness. We
So
had to pay to
yeah,
save because we gave up our world.
that's exactly what happened. They had to
Okay, all right. No.
exactly.
All right. Um, yeah, but so just that's just the Pacific Islander, part of it. I would also think about the Asian Americans. Obviously, you got all of Japan, China, the Asian area. Not to mention Indian people, Russian people, also part of Asia.
Very right. Yeah.
Um, so
Very
yeah, Pacific Islanders, and then also indigenous Hawaiian people who've had to, move off of their land, move to the West Coast, move to different parts of the Pacific, because Hawaii was overtaken by the United States and turned into a
I'm sorry. In my
pineapple.
head, I'm just thinking about the folks that listen to this and are just going back to what you said when you said Russia, because how confused they look right now that you mentioned Russia as Asia. Right now, I'm telling you, somebody
No,
listen to this, played it back. Like, did he say that right? Did he say Russia? Did he?
Russia in Asia. Russia is most of Asia, right? Like this.
But
I
then
mean, you knew that, right, people? Hey, that's all right. You know now if you didn't, and we don't have to mention that.
and you know what some people are saying now? But they don't even speak Asian.
They don't. Oh wow! Oh wow! That
Anyway,
is.
yeah.
They are Asian. Um. Yeah. So AANHPI month. Congratulations to anyone celebrating. Appreciate you guys, and also, yeah, we'll continue to do our part to try to highlight Pacific Islanders, Native Hawaiians, and even Asian Americans who are playing our favorite sports or repping for our cultures here in the continental U.S.
Shout out to
Uh,
all my Vietnamese and Cambodian people too.
yeah. Hey, shout out. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about our expectations of ANHPI month, and now we got to talk about Uncle Dwayne and his appearance at the 2026 Met Gala. Did you get to watch the Met Gala? Did you see this happen?
I'm not a Met Gala guy, but
I'm not a Met Gala guy.
but I when it pertains to our people, I'm going to pay attention to it.
Mhm.
and what you're talking about right now. Yeah, I dove a little into what was going on, what was being said, and yeah, interesting.
Uh, Before we get into The Rock's pleated skirt, mortality of the body outfit, with him and his wife there at Met Gala, we just want to go over a few things, kind of explaining what the Met Gala is, as far as what we're looking up here, what it kind of means, who's in charge, how it works, and then what The Rock did, and then the backlash of what The Rock did, and then also discussing if that backlash is legit, entitled, expected, appropriate. So yeah, let's get into it. The Met Gala, formerly called the Costume Institute Benefit, is the annual fundraising festival held for the benefit of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Initiative on the Museum Mile of Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. The Met Gala is the Metropolitan Museum's big fundraiser. I think it's like $100,000 per seat.
Oh, I remember going to that. Not.
Yeah. And The Rock is one of the few Samoan people that have been to the Met Gala, that have dressed up, that have been, dressed by a designer and gone to the exhibit on that night. Uh, they also have co-chairs. This was the Beyonce Met Gala here in 2026. It's the first time she's attended in 10 years. It's the first time she attended with her daughter, who she mentioned was this was like a big thing
I
for her
remember.
to be able to bring her there. Um, so a lot of eyes were already on this with Beyonce attending. And then I found out, Sammy told me, oh, The Rock's going to be here. And I was like, oh, what? Nice. Um, The Rock is definitely a very wealthy person, and it's not out of place to think of The Rock being here, right? Hollywood,
Sure.
fashion, big timers, big wigs, all that. Also, like a fashionable, fancy guy presenting. Uh, when I heard that, I was hyped, right? I was like, nice. The Rock is going to be freaking photographed. What trying to figure out what is the theme. Every year they have a different theme, and then the costumes or the outfits try to match that theme, while also matching with the model that's wearing it and the designer. So I'm like excited that The Rock is doing it, and then I'm thinking I had very low expectations for The Rock's, incoming outfit to be like super Samoan or Pacific Islander, at all. I didn't think he was going to come out in the EFI Kanga. Um, but I did think for 5 seconds, how dope would it be if he just came out like in Samoan
Sure.
traditional wear. Uh, the um, the theme for this year was costume art, or fashion is art. I've also seen, so turning your outfit into a freaking art piece, right? Like if you somehow had you could somehow turn the Michael Jordan Space Jam long arm moment for him to win that game. If you could somehow turn that into something you're wearing that coordinates all the way down from like your jacket to your shirt to your trousers to your shoes. Of course, you're wearing some Space Jam shoes, but like that's the possibility of the moment, right? If you can meet the theme, pop off. It's also a really big popular photo shoot, basically. Um, but I feel like, knowing The Rock, I didn't think he would go on a big limb to try to like bang the table and be like, it has to be, Tatao designs or I'm not doing it, right? Like I didn't think that was what he was gonna do, and he didn't. The Rock The Rock and his wife were dressed by Tom Brown, who was born Tom Brown, but now he spells it with an H after the T. He did that himself. Tom Brown, the designer, uh, I don't know how the connection was made between him and Dwayne Johnson, if they worked together before, but somehow The Rock becomes his model. They send over illustrations. Uh, and basically what The Rock is wearing is like a white tuxedo shirt and vest with a black folded over skirt, like a pleated skirt. He's wearing like black combat boots, and he's wearing like a trench coat. I didn't notice this at first, but the coat that he's wearing also has like skeletal designs on the back, and he's talking about, yeah, this is about the mortality of the human body, which matches with, you know, the body exhibit that is currently in the Metropolitan Museum, right? So he's like, this connects with that. And they talked about, you know, the skirt. They were asking him on the stairs walking up to the museum. They asked him about the skirt, and he gave this quote, and that, you know, they were actually unsure when they sent me over the designs and stuff. They were like, is DJ going to be cool with, you know, a pleated skirt? And he went on to explain, you know, our culture, Polynesian culture, a lot of masculine men, the most masculine men, wear skirts, wear lava lavas, he said. So it's actually, you know, not that big a thing for me to wear this. I will say that from the front on, the first time I saw the outfit, with the white top, the black skirt, and then the black coat over it, it kind of made him look uh like Neo, but
In the skirt.
he looked like Matrix Neo, but in an apron. Because the skirt didn't go all the way around because like the jacket cut it off, right? So it just, you just saw the front part. It was like the one but wearing an apron. Or it also kind of looked like the Project Mayhem members in Fight Club when they're in all white and they're wearing a black apron, but if he had like a slim trench coat over it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh yeah, this is not like super Pacific Islander or Polynesian. I mean, I guess he was able to spin the fact that the outfit included a skirt to like tying into the
Yeah.
Polynesian roots that we wear skirt. That was a good thing for him. But the way he explained that made me think that it wasn't intentional that they made a skirt and put it on a Samoan man because that's part of his culture. They just were like, this is the design and hopefully he's cool with it. Oh, he is cool with it because it's kind of his culture.
Yeah.
But they mentioned about that skeletal part in the back. It looks so fluffy in 3D, but it's actually like folds of the material that like took a lot of people in 2,000 hours for him to make. So he's wearing that, and The Rock is discussing, you know, and The Rock being like a bodybuilder, an aging, you know, strong
Right.
man at that. You talk about the mortality of the human body. This is kind of the mortality of the human body personified. Dwayne Johnson, right? Like his body, he's keeping in great shape, but eventually you're going to realize the mortality. So yeah, that's what he was wearing. That's how the night went. That's what I thought. And then the next day, people started commenting on the videos, right? On the pictures of The Rock there. You got a pretty good mix of, hey, it's dope to see a Samoan man. Oh, you got a lot of replays of the, actually in Polynesian culture, the masculine men, we wear skirts. We wear lava lavas. You got a lot of those replays being positively pushed for the culture. Everyone's like, nice. He's showing off our culture on the biggest fashion stage in New York. And then you also had people that you could classify as Rock haters. You know, the people that were like, Rocky sucks, die, Rocky, die. The people that turned him into The Rock, they are in the comments like, this guy is a fraud, basically. Dwayne Johnson cosplaying, being Samoan, you know, like questioning his culture, basically, you know, calling him fake Samoan. And then you also had a subsect that was like, skirts, no way, Jose, we're men, and say it right, it's a lava lava, or like something like that. There's a bunch of people that were offended by the skirt thing, and they were like, see, Hollywood, you just doing this, you got Dwayne, your last good movie was Walking Tall, get out of here. Like a lot of hate coming through too. So there's a lot, and I guess The Rock being one of the few people that a bunch of us look up to, he's going to get this treatment regardless. And we
Yeah.
usually do see it lean negative. talking trash about The Rock, questioning legitimacy, fullness. How full Samoan are you? This, that. Also, yeah, we know he's half black. So like he doesn't have to be so he has another culture and people that
Yeah.
he can like he is and can be highlighting.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, just in that backlash, what do you think well actually first of all, like seeing the outfit and stuff, did you have any thoughts before all the craziness started, or do you have any thoughts on, all the comments and stuff?
No, I mean I think it's it's fashion. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
anytime they have one of these Met Gala, we've seen really weird outfits at
Mhm.
yeah, not all weird. When I say weird, I just mean sorry. We've seen
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah, yeah,
outfits at
yeah.
like the Grammys,
Sure.
outrageous stuff being worn at the Oscars. It
What
just
are some of the most outrageous outfits? Sorry to bring,
no,
because
you
I'm just thinking Jennifer Lopez.
so
There
Jennifer
was
Lopez,
that dress with that went
right,
like V
right.
cut all the way down and no.
You've had a lot of those. You've had people walk up with just pasties on their
Mhm.
nose. You've had dudes in the whole
Meat suit.
dresses. Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Lady Gaga had like
Yeah.
10 outfits that were like, whoa, that like,
Right.
yeah, popped.
Dudes who wear dresses, dudes who've come
Mhm.
out in like uh costumes, like actual costumes, like a an astronaut. Just there's been a lot of stuff. You've had Adam Sandler go to just one of these shows in his regular clothes, really big t-shirt and
I
some
like
basketball shorts.
I like the Adam Sandler
Yeah.
costume.
So like it's just like it's gonna be fashion. So what he wore is what he wore, and
Mhm.
that's you go to these things, and that's why you pick some of these designers, because that's the society they live in. Not all of
Yeah,
us live
fashion. Yeah.
in, yeah, right. And again, people were like, oh, it was by Beyonce. It's gonna be seen by a lot of people, and in that world, you want to have something to be spoken about. Obviously, it's being spoken about now, but um.
Yeah.
That's all that was. Uh, none of you, okay, some of you did, but not too many were mad when we seen Young Thug come out in a skirt. You know what I mean? Young
I
Thug,
mean, I don't think they definitely don't have the same kind of connection to
sure, but that's what I'm
Young
saying.
Thug.
No, not at all. But like we were talking about fashion, so it's a skirt. I think everybody's problem came when he decided to say that uh men in his culture, the most
Mhm.
masculine, wear skirts. I get that. Okay, they aren't skirts. That's not what he was trying to say. Maybe it was a bad,
Yeah, yeah.
like, but
No, I feel like that was like that's what the question was. That's
right.
what it's called in America. That's what American viewers
That's
will
exactly why.
think. Yeah.
And of course, we're gonna take it out of context and make it like
Oh
it's
yeah.
to know the culture, and he's just using the culture to look. For one, just like you said, Lance, he's half Samoan. He didn't need the culture really to get this far. I'm not saying it didn't help him push a lot of his, like
Mhm.
I guess his lore or his legacy, because some of it came from his grandfather too as a wrestler, uh
Sure.
Chief Peter Maivia.
That like I was trying to think about that, right? Is The Rock, if his Psalm oneness helped him? And I couldn't separate the fact that he grew up with Peter Maivia as his grandfather,
Definitely
as
helped.
Leah
But
Maivia
also,
as the
right,
Polynesian
yeah.
wrestling head. Like,
Yeah.
and those things
But
and
his
those then that connection, dude. Vince McMahon, like Peter Maivia, like was legit. So he kind of had, first, third generation superstar. He had that leg up already.
but so was Rocky Johnson,
What
his father.
he also had that too.
Yes, as a
Mhm.
wrestler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Right.
I mean, so yeah, so but that's kind of the offset, right? Because his
Yeah.
dad was a great wrestler who teamed
Right.
up with Teddy Atlas, who had his own, Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. I don't know. I
Exactly.
never watched him, but that I followed The Rock so
Whoa, whoa,
much that
whoa.
I know
Did
Tony
you
Atlas and
just call
Gene.
me old?
What?
Did you just call me old?
Oh no, no, no! Did I talk about something a long time ago?
He said, I mean, I didn't watch them,
I mean,
thankfully.
I never watched Tony Atlas and Rocky Soulman Johnson win the national tag team titles,
We're
but
canceled.
I heard about it.
Canceled. We're canceled. We're
No, But I
Oh
heard
yeah,
about it. And then so there's a great wrestler there
yeah,
who
yeah.
is his father, right? And
His
but
fault.
so okay, so
Right.
he was just double helped. It was like I started with a small loan of $10 million. Okay, Rock.
Just a little bit.
Uh,
But yeah, I
but
mean,
I there was also oh
go ahead.
okay, there was also a post from Ainsley Broom that sparked off a lot of comments and people figuring out and explaining the Met Gala. Her video was asking, why doesn't this man use Pacific Islander designer? If you really want to make something pop as a Samoan man who's going to the Met Gala, one of the few ever, uh, as someone that's doing this during ANHPI month, someone with this platform and opportunity, don't just be dressed by anybody. Why don't you put your foot down, step up, and ask for a Pacific Islander designer? And then I think she included a couple active designers that could have done it. People are in the comments saying, "Yeah, this guy's a fraud. He doesn't want to use any Samoans. He's fake." There's people in the comments saying the Met Gala doesn't let the models decide. It's for the designers. Explaining it's $100,000. It gets approved by they approve of Anna Wintour.
Sure.
Um, Lots of stuff going on there. We talked about this on the Patreon for like an hour, right? We went in
I promise
talking
you,
about
and I will talk
The
about it.
Rock. No, this is not going crazy. Uh, the Rock doesn't always step out of his comfort zone to move the culture forward. But then also, The Rock has done so much to
Yeah,
highlight and put the culture on. Uh, whether that was in Hollywood, whether that was in the WWF, you know, I feel like in the 90s, people might have known, might have seen us on one before, but they didn't know what to call us until The Rock showed up. And then they were like, oh, Psalm 1, huh? Or Samoan, huh? Like, do you know The Rock? Yeah, he's my cousin. Yeah, he's my uncle. Yeah, I know The Rock. We go to family reunions. Like, I used that hella in fourth and fifth grade, doc. Yeah, I can. He taught me how to do the eyebrow. Doesn't he do it with the other eye? No, we were like face to face. It was like a mirror. Um, yeah. So having The Rock for a long time be like a childhood hero to like a freaking huge representation of our culture, whether that's in the Be Cool movie, whether that's in freaking what was the football movie Gridiron Gang. There are times where he's using or he has Samoan elements or Samoan characters. Um, but I'm like, is The Rock a fraud? No, I don't want to say that. He's my hero. I would like try like uh but just this whole thing kind of brought out, and then when we were talking about in the Patreon, Seth saying, we shouldn't have to put all of our expectations of representation on this one guy, right? I think you said that too. Like, leave The Rock alone. He's done enough. Um, but
look,
then I'm always thinking about like, hey, if you have that opportunity, that platform, that once in a lifetime chance, you should use it for advancing those around you or those coming after you.
but first
Yeah.
off, I will say, um, yes, The Rock is probably the most recognizable, and I won't even just say Polynesian because there might be other Polynesians around the world who, we don't know. They might be more recognizable in their part of the country or part of the world. But
Yeah.
yes, for us here in the United States, The Rock is the most recognizable Samoan.
Mhm.
But he wasn't the first. Alpha and Seiko were, the mad Samoans. You know, uh, they
Wild
and then
time.
right, you had the Tongan Kid back in the day, and this is just wrestling right now. So that's all I'm talking about right now. Is just wrestling. You had Snooker, Jimmy Snooker. Oh my gosh.
Superfly.
Superfly. You had him. there was a bunch of just wrestlers who were very recognizable in the United States, not just, The Rock came, of course, and
Mm.
took it to another level. You go sports wise, you had guys who played football this whole time that were just super big everywhere they went. Beginning with guys like Jesse Sapolu, guys you don't know, maybe Dan Saleo Moore, Mark Tuinei. If you talk to anybody who grew up a Dallas fan, was probably one of the greatest linemen to ever play for Dallas. You guys had the if you lived in Hawaii, and followed football and were a Vikings fan, even a Raiders fan, Al Nono was also a really big name. So they had guys. You watch college football, you had George Malaulu throwing back-to-back 70 plus yard touchdowns in bowl games back-to-back years, one with his right hand, one with his left. He was ambidextrous. So I get it, man. Like, but there have been Samoans who come before him, and they've never had to deal with. And I get it again. His popularity is totally on a different level. Second, your expectations have nothing to do with me. Why would I put that pressure on myself? That's another thing for our people. Everybody has these expectations for each other. Like, I don't have to adhere to what you think I should be doing. Your expectations,
Sure.
they're they have nothing to do with me. That's how people are unhappy. It's part of the red flags in the culture.
Mm.
Um,
Wait, if I want you to be better, or if I expect you
you
to
expect me to be your
improve
kind of
something,
better. You expect me to
well,
do what you think. You know what I mean?
if I okay, so if I tweak that and like I want you to be better for what you think, like I want you to
You want me to be better?
reach more of your potential. What you think?
Right. You want
And
me to
like I feel like we have family that press us like that. Like, hey, what are you up to?
exactly.
What are you doing with your life? Why don't you go
That's
do
what I'm
something?
saying.
I'm like, hey, I
Right.
haven't seen you in months.
You want me to do better? Then actually look at what I'm doing. I'm doing better. Am I doing better to help you, or is my better the better that you thought I should be doing? That's
Well,
the problem.
I feel
So
like when someone people are asking better or expecting better, isn't that like isn't that like a good pressure? Like, hey, you have the weight of the culture, the weight you have the weight of the population, kind of like the people.
no, that's part of the problem.
Okay.
Look, as a people, I love it because we carry our culture, we carry it everywhere we go. We do our best to represent the culture the best way we should. Um, but also you still got to do things for yourself. There's a point where you get in life, and then it's just like, well, let me enjoy what my success, what I've been doing. Yes, this whole community pushed me. I'm always gonna have that. Always gonna be mindful of the people who helped me get here.
Mm.
But also, I also got here. With the support and help I got from everybody else, it was my sweat, my tears, my blood that got me. You know, like, but I think a lot of the times in our culture, uh, people love to be a part of the end game, uh, support you on the journey, but not everybody, this is, but when you get there, it's like, well, damn, we helped you get here. This is what we need from you now. Like, this is what I
Yeah,
want from you now. It's like,
yeah. Well, I feel like that's legit though. Like, if
no,
I helped you, like, if someone pays for your campaign, then you kind of have to listen to them when you're president.
sure, sure. But if I'm there and I'm doing stuff for everybody as a whole, you know what I
Mm.
mean? But you're on the side, like, no, but I want you to do it this way.
Yeah, I helped you get here. Yeah.
Right. Like,
Oh, I mean, I understand that expectation then. Like, if you feel, I don't feel like I helped The Rock become, a third generation WWF superstar and then
sure.
star in the squad. But I definitely have been positive and been like, hey, we should watch this movie. And personally, I've been like, I need to
Right.
watch, try to watch
Okay.
that movie. I haven't watched every Rock movie, but I've been a supporter. But I mean, personally, I don't feel like I should be asking The Rock what to do. But I understand why millions and millions of Samoan and The Rock's fans are like, hey, you should do it like this. I don't
No.
I don't think he has to listen to them, right?
No,
It's
right. It's your
But
opinion. It's
you need
again your
to
opinion.
if a million people are saying something, isn't that like, oh, I should look at this?
Well, who are you to police the culture that way? Like
Police the culture?
telling somebody that they should do this because you're a fraud. You know what I mean?
I
Like
think The Rock always asks for like Polynesian like realization. What is the word there? Just like I'm Polynesian. But then when the chance to do other Polynesian stuff off camera comes up, I feel like he's not as hyped up to do it.
I think there's a lot of times where there's no cameras and he's doing it. And when he does it on camera too, people are like, well, it's not enough. Oh, he didn't do it Polynesian
Mm.
enough. You know, again, who are you to tell him that
That's okay. So how do we pretend to be Polynesian enough? Speak the language, do the dance moves, like more than just. Because I feel like he does it for camera. Like if he does something Pacific Islander, he's like, make sure to get this. Make sure, hey, make sure to record me. Hey, go over there, make it look natural.
his business is Hollywood?
That's well, Hollywood, and then also in his book, growing up, like when he was a young Rock, I think it was like WrestleMania 16, 17, when he's like going up against Stone Cold, like in Philadelphia, I think it was. That book talks about how his dad raised him, and his dad was like working the gimmick. Like his dad was of a time where like baby faces and heels couldn't eat dinner outside, in public because the story was that they hated each other, and that's how they sold these fights and stuff, right? So
Exactly.
Soul Man Rocky Johnson, he is like selling the gimmick even after his wrestling career, even after he's like working at a warehouse. He's calling, he's on the phone real loud about like, oh yeah, you going to Miami, you going to the NFL draft, yeah, like he's putting on a front.
Sure.
And The Rock mentions how much he learned from that and used that to spark
His
and
career.
launch The Rock, the character, yeah,
Right.
Rocky
Character.
Maivia,
Right.
his personal wrestling career, and the character of The Rock. And then talking about his plan to further use that for it looks like a plan that has come to fruition. He's like, I'm going to get into Hollywood. I'm going to turn myself like more than just a wrestling superstar. I'm going to become an action megastar. He's like in 5 Fast and Furious movies. He's in 20 different of his own films, all action. Um, yeah, so I think he's done a good job on what he planned for, and that was to become
Definitely.
rich and famous and have sex with whoever he wants to, which he can. He's at that level. He likes it. I'm just saying, he's at that level. Live a good life, the life he wanted.
He
Uh,
built that life. He built it.
brick by brick.
Yes.
Okay, but and then that's where we're sorry, we're doing circles now. But that's where I'm trying to figure out how much of that was like built in from having Samoan grandparents who loved and helped him
Uh-huh.
wrestling, like introduced him to wrestling. How much of that is having a Samoan mom in his life who was always able to do Samoan things to show him that. And then like, do we get any? Even if you support somebody, you have no say in what they do. I guess is the final
Sure.
conclusion.
Sure. And I get it. People want to I don't have a problem with people like maybe wanting him to try to help to put other people on. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But it's also like it's like it's like me and you go to this place. You get this good job, right? We used to work together. You get this good job, and I helped you at this other job. You know what I mean? Like I helped you. You learned the other job, and you got this other job because of how well you were at this job. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
at this other job, and instead of me just being happy for you, like you know, and I know who you are. You're gonna help me in any way you can. But what in my head I'm thinking, Lance is gonna put me on. He's gonna get me this job because I helped him at this job. You know what I mean? Like you're just the expectation of that because I helped train you well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That you're just gonna go and try to get
It's
me in, even though it's not up to you to get me this job. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you could help me all you want, but it's not up to you. That's how I see it. I know it's not the same thing, totally different, like the levels of where we're at, but that's how it's like. You want The Rock to go. Yes, he's famous. He does have influence. He does have influence, but for this particular place, like again, there was a lot of people saying, like you said, maybe it's not his decision to which designer he used. Maybe some of these designers had paid money to have their things shown in the show.
Mhm.
Maybe they're paired up like that. You know, there's just a lot of things that people don't see, and people always want to just come back to like, well, he's fake, he's a fraud, he's just using his culture to get ahead. It's a lot for the guy. Like you want him to carry the whole culture. There's other people he can help, you know. And look, what if you're a friend who's a designer or the people you want him to design? What if their shit's ugly? You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, you just used $100,000 and Anna Wintour approval to have an ugly, Hey, but you tried. Hey, that's the other thing, right? If it was ugly but done by an Islander, I would think it's not as ugly,
no,
right?
no, no,
I'm biased, right?
no,
I
no, not.
admit that bias, but I feel like The Rock has $100,000 for sure, right? If he wanted to like sponsor a Pacific Islander designer, maybe he could figure out a way to get approval from the committee and also pay for
I'm
it
pretty
and
sure with his
be modeled.
influence like that. But again,
But
that's also he can put somebody on. It's hard to explain because I'm all about getting put on, like him helping get put
yeah,
someone on. But you're also taking away an opportunity from someone else who probably is in that spot. Like, we don't, again, we
I
don't see these things.
right. I don't know if there's a set limit on how
Exactly.
many, but
Right.
I feel like it's like the inverse, but positive for us, right? Because yeah, okay, you're taking away someone else's spot if there's a set limit and The Rock comes and puts on a
Yeah,
Pacific Islander, but it also is, giving the spot to someone who is deserving of it,
that's true.
but just didn't have 100,000, didn't have like
Right.
aren't popular
Okay.
enough. So
That's
if
fine.
there is a Pacific Islander designer, fashion engineer, costume team out there that kind of had that has the experience and ability to dress The Rock in something that meets the moment, the theme, and the culture, to give them that opportunity to do that is such a huge like jump in platform, and is such like a big
Right.
helping hand pulling them up, that it would cancel out someone who's probably been there before. They were so they kind of got moved out. Hey,
Somebody,
let the best costumes win. Oh,
definitely. Somebody, and God rest his soul, I wish they didn't. But somebody had said something also in a comment I seen about, you know, Alpha Alu,
mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
when he had worn, I think on his own merit, his own talent, I think his stuff would have been in the show anyway, without having The Rock.
someone
Why?
else would be
Because his stuff was good enough to be there, and he was such a
there.
good designer. You know,
So yeah, giving someone the chance like Alpha had to design someone going to the Met Gala or the Oscars or the Grammys, or somebody that's going to the red carpet that's going to let our culture be shown somehow.
he
Uh,
didn't. He
I
didn't need The Rock. He didn't cry about, man, The Rock should be wearing my stuff. My gosh, somebody tell The Rock to wear my stuff.
ooh,
That's what I'm saying. He didn't. He never had to.
you saying Alpha or
Yeah.
Tom Brown? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like I know how we can fix The Rock not wearing Pacific Islander inspired
Send him your
clothes.
stuff.
Negative. I'm gonna send him this Tanoa shirt.
Right.
Hey,
Send
this
him your stuff.
10-year-old Tanoa shirt that's faded.
Oh,
I wear it all the time.
I wouldn't send him anything from
Uh,
Tom.
oh no. Okay, we'll talk about that. Here's what we can do. Right, we just need 400,000 people. Uh, Pacific Islanders. Right, very small, a quarter each. Right, we could buy this man's ticket. We could find a fashion designer of Pacific Islander
Yes.
culture
Yes.
or ethnicity that could
Yes.
dress him and meet the moment and the theme. So, someone wants to start the GoFundMe for the Pacific Islander Rock Met Gala 2027 outfit. I will start putting the word out and donating to it.
Hey, look,
We
I got
just
a
got to
hundred.
collect $100,000 and get Anna Wintour's approval. We can do this, guys. It's gonna be
I
great.
it might be a little different from the Met Gala stuff that they had shown, but I have $100 right now to start that for either Pete Toilolo or
Woo!
Tasi 1K to get over to one of these galas. We'll get them there. So Petey, Tati,
Oh, that'd be dope,
let's get you guys to one of these shows, man. Even if it's like the Grammys. Let's get you guys
bro. For
on one of these
real.
stages to
What a good person to ask too.
so
Okay.
those yeah. So come on, guys. Lance is definitely gonna clip this for us. P Toilolo, Tasi 1K. Forgive me, Tasi, I don't know your last name. But yes,
1K.
yeah, obviously, duh.
Obviously.
Um, or even,
My
hey,
middle name is one.
look, and I apologize to our other guy on the show. Look, even if we get to see a Cepha M design or a Levasa design somewhere on a red carpet or just doing an interview one of these big shows. Let's get one of these guys there. Um, no joke. I got $100 down. We can start that. So come on, let's pay for their ticket. Let's get them somewhere.
$999,900 to go. We
Easy.
are on the way. Met Gala 2027. The Rock is going to wear something Pacific Islander enough for everybody. It's going to be basically High Chief Peter Maivia costume. Just make him wear that. Just and then people will like it. All right, we got to split. I was going to talk about getting golfer's elbow from smacking the hitting mat at the golf range too much. Like, just too much of a good thing, man. I thought I could play golf forever,
Look, when
and my
Lance makes it
elbow's been
to the
out of work for 3 weeks now.
when Lance when Lance goes and he makes it to the LPGA, so he can be the first man to play on the LPGA. I
When I
I,
do that,
I fully expect Lance to represent our culture every time he plays.
the Lance Professional Golf Association. It's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me in an American Samoa flag shirt all the time. Also, shout out to Fernando Mendoza. He said he is not going to the White House when his national championship team goes
Nope.
because he's got practice that day.
He's got a
That's a
prep.
lot more important.
It's more important than
I
going to
go
the
see the
White House.
president. Nah, I think I got to check my schedule, but I think I have practice that day, and
Uh,
I don't have time to miss
hey, look,
practice.
he might be safer staying at practice.
Hey, they tried to write $1 billion into the ballroom budget.
I believe it. There's not much I can say. I believe
I believe it.
it. I believe
Yeah,
it.
it went from like 100 million, 300 million from his rich friends to 1 billion from us. So I think that's like
Oh.
$30 a person for every single
Mm.
person in America.
That's funny.
Anyways, we are out. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. Shout out to The Rock, who is my hero. Shout out to AANHPI month, Native Hawaiians, Indigenous Hawaiian people. So
Hell
sorry
yeah.
about your land and
Learn about Olelo,
you
folks. Learn about
live
Olelo.
in the country that did it to you.
Olelo, Hawaii.
Want the perfect month, speak the language, do the cultural things, and learn a lot more about it. We're going to be back next week in this spot,
I
and
was
we'll
gonna
see you
say,
guys then.
go eat some Samoan food, man. And I was gonna say, get some turkey tail.
Some turkey tail, some breadfruit, put it
Ooh,
in the oven for 4 hours or whatever the American
did it. 400
translation
degrees
is.
at 30 minutes. This guy.
Bro, it's supposed to be. This shit said 350 for 2 hours. I was like, oh,
Well,
I'm
actually,
just gonna go
no,
outside and heat
that
up some
is
rocks.
that's
Okay.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's much easier to figure out. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Ballinesian podcast here on the Polytickin Network. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling, love and light. Peace.
They rooted.